Hello everybody, welcome to the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, and what a difference a week makes. No Lancestroll and Charles Leclerc anywhere in sight. Carlossainz on pole in the McLaren, Lewis Hamilton and second in the Mercedes, Valtteri third. So Lewis will be hoping for that home win this time, but Mercedes once again the closest challengers to the unexpected pole sitters. And then you've got the Red Bulls, Albon ahead of Verstappen this week. Once again Albon tends to turn up and shine, but it's not a pole position this time. Norris 6th, and then Perez 7th in the Racing Point. So Perez ahead of his teammate this time. Daniel Ricciardo 8th for Renault. Lance Stroll 9th. And a particularly good qualifying performance from the 2007 World Champion Kimi Räikkönen. He is in 10th place ahead of Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. And then Esteban Ocon's Renault is 12th. And Sebastianvettel 13th. So Stroll just about on the edge of the points. Ferrari absolutely nowhere. And, well, I'll just hope that the race pace will make up for it. It has at certain times this year, so there's fingers crossed for Ferrari there. Kvyat 14th. Gasly 15th from the AlphaTauris. They often manage to pick up points. Don't know if it's going to happen today. Latifi 16th, so he's done a decent performance in the Williams. Actually outperforming where his teammate George Russell ended up last time. Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo 17th, then the two Hasses, Magnussen ahead of Grosjean, and George Russell, who's been picking up attention for his qualifying performances so far this year. Unfortunately, not as strong this weekend. He is down in 20th and last on the grid. And so, Carlossainz, here's his aim. He's got to try to win this race. We know it's going to be difficult for Sainz in the McLaren because they're not the quickest car out there, but here we go, they're away from the grid, and Sainz holds on to the lead. Now, here we go into turn one, and Sainz always run wide like Stroll last week. Now, Stroll retained the lead, Sainz does not. Lewis Hamilton is through, and if Sainz is going to delay Bottas for a bit, then Lewis Hamilton could be looking very, very good for a first win of 2020. It'll be a much-needed result, really, for Lewis. Well, Sainz actually is keeping, he's not too far off of Lewis's pace, so that's promising for Sainz and McLaren. And Bottas having a look at the McLaren. That doesn't happen. But Sainz he's really close to Lewis. I think Lewis is managing the pace, surely. Although if I was Lewis, I would like a bit more of a comfort zone, really. Well, there goes Bottas now. Bottas having a look on Sainz. We are watching Kimi Räikkönen, and he's done well. And the Ferraris have dropped back from where they started. So really, a terrible weekend for Ferrari. Bottas up in the second, and now applying pressure to Lewis Hamilton. Oh, this could be a battle to watch. We've seen the Mercedes collide once already this year, sort of going harking back to the days of Hamilton versus Rosberg, isn't it? Bottas a lot more competitive and willing to give Lewis a fight this year. And there we go, he's having a look already, but Lewis defends for now. See a little spark from the Mercedes engine. Sainz is still in the ballpark, and actually he's thinking about having a run back at Bottas, and Valtteri has to close that off. That'll give Lewis some breathing space. So no, Sainz certainly doesn't want to be totally out of this battle for the lead. He knows that he's fighting against a stronger competitor, but sometimes certain drivers can find a way to beat those. Now, Hamilton leading Bottas, Sainz still in there, the two Red Bulls behind. And here we go, through this little twisty section comes Lewis Hamilton, followed by Bottas and Sainz. And is Lewis going to hold on? Is he going to get a home win? He will hope so. It would pull him up in the second in the World Championship if he can do it, and then enable him to focus on Max ahead, he would certainly hope. But Lewis, there we go, still leading. Bottas second with Sainz right behind him. This is where they get close, and this is where Bottas was able to make a move on Sainz. Lewis is wise to it, we think. We don't think he's going to be well, but Bottas again getting alongside him into Copse, and Lewis again closing the door. We haven't been able to really see much of what is going on further down the field because we can't not watch this battle at the front, so that's what we got to do. Bottas now looks like he's going to get a really strong run on Hamilton up to Stowe. This could be where Valtteri Bottas breaks British heart. Is it going to happen? Bottas having a look, coming down the inside. Lewis is he does cut it off, but Bottas stays level, but then gets a bit of a twitch, and that's enough to enable Lewis Hamilton to stay ahead. Valtteri still very, very close. This has been closer than I'm sure Lewis Hamilton would have wanted for comfort, but he is going to come through and claim the victory. His first victory of 2020. Lewis Hamilton wins the race. Bottas in the second. A really strong performance once again, just like he was in Hungary. Last week he didn't seem that fast, Bottas, just sat where he was. But yeah, this week, like Hungary, determined to make his way through. And there was one point where I thought a Bottas win would be inevitable, but Lewis held on, and that will move him up to second in the championship, now only 14 points behind Max Verstappen. So the title battle is on. Red Bull need to pick it up because they have definitely lost ground from where they were in the first couple of races. They need to refine it if they want any serious hope of staying ahead of Mercedes. So Lewis Hamilton, the race winner. Valtteri Bottas, second place. Carlos Sainz, third. Max Verstappen, fourth, beating his teammate Alex Albon. So I suppose the best Max could do, really, because he couldn't really even catch Sainz in third. So yeah, Red Bull, that was the max they could do. Albon in fifth, Norris in sixth. Daniel Ricciardo made a good start, got up to seventh. That's where he stayed. So effectively best of the rest, because Mercedes, Red Bull and McLaren were clearly the three best cars this weekend. Sergio Perez, he finished eighth, ahead of last week's race winner Lancestroll, who didn't really offer that much on this occasion. And Kimi Räikkönen brings home a point for Alfa Romeo in 10th. You can see the Ferraris, a dreadful, dreadful weekend. Not even able to finish where they qualified. Charles Leclerc dropped down to 13th, and Sebastian Vettel dropped off the top 14 list, as you can see. So dreadful for Ferrari. And their home race isn't that many races away, only about 3-4 races away. They've got Monza and Mugello coming up, haven't they? And they're really going to be hoping they can lift things up, because far from the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, Ferrari are going to be celebrating their 70th or maybe 75th anniversary, certainly a 70th anniversary as a World Championship Formula 1 team soon coming up, and they need a better performance than this. They need a car good enough to celebrate it with. Don't know if that's going to happen the way it's looking at the moment. Anyway, we should be looking at the World Championship standings. Verstappen on 84, Lewis Hamilton on 70, then Valtteri Bottas on 63 points, Alex Albon 48, Sergio Perez in 5th on 42, Carlos Sainz level with him, 6th on 42 points as well, Lando Norris on 33, Charles Leclerc 31, Lance Stroll also on 31, Sebastian Vettel on 20, Esteban Ocon on 10, Daniel Ricciardo up to 10 now, Pierre Gasly 9, Kimi Räikkönen 7, Kevin Magnussen 4, Nicholas Latifi 1. Constructors' Championship, Mercedes 133, just a point ahead of Red Bull, who are on 132, but Red Bull are going to need to find lots more performance to keep up with Mercedes, that's for sure. McLaren on 75, Racing Point on 73, Ferrari on 51, Renault on 20, AlphaTauri 9, Alfa Romeo 7, Haas on 4, and Williams on 1. So there you have it. Well, now we're at a key point. We've got another 12 rounds to go. We've got now Lewis Hamilton closing in on Max Verstappen. We've got Valtteri Bottas still in the picture, only 7 points behind Lewis. So it's a good little, intriguing little situation this year. Especially we've seen Bottas. He looks rapid, doesn't he? He's been sort of, unlucky at times to be behind Lewis like that. 7 points behind. He should be up with or even ahead of Verstappen. So Lewis has got to have some more convincing performances, the ones we used to see him from him, where he dominates everybody, because we've not seen that this year. Mercedes in the constructors, they are looking great. Red Bull needs to bring more to the table to stay in this championship, that's for sure. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.